Hey guys, I'm Big Mike, and like always, I'd like to thank you for being here today. Today we have Matt Zimberg from Optimist Trading Group here to talk about the products and services offered by Optimist Futures. And those include things like platforms, data feeds, exchanges, commissions, margins, account opening procedures, etc., etc. Matt will be starting us off today, and then John will take over once Matt is done, and he'll show us some of the platforms. Matt has asked that as you guys have questions, just hang on to them until the presentation is over, and then we'll open it up for Q&A at the end and get everybody's questions answered at the end of the webinar. The webinar is being recorded like always. I'll post the recording on BMT and on our YouTube channel sometime tomorrow. If you're watching the recording at a later date and you like it, please do us a favor and give it a thumbs up. All right. With that, I'm now turning things over to Matt. And okay, Matt, you should now,
Hi, Mike.
hey, you should have the option to share your screen now.
Yeah, I'm going to click on that. Okay.
And we're seeing a PowerPoint.
Fantastic. Mike, thank you very much again. I've been on the forum now, I think, a year after it's been established, so Mike has always been a great force in our success here, and it's really a privilege to be a member for such a long time on your site. Really appreciate the objective approach you have, and above all, how practical you are with people. I see you every day really telling people how trading really is, not trying to hype it or anything of that sort, and it's refreshing to see it in this industry.
Thanks, Matt.
It really is.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well deserved. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about Optimus. Last time, I showed you all the websites we have and everything else. Today I'm just going to narrow down to a few specific things that we're doing at Optimus, give you a little bit more about our philosophy, and not to sound like every other broker that we are the best in the world. We're definitely not a match for everybody, but we're trying to really understand what people, as a philosophy of Optimus, we really truly understand that our livelihood, which is commission, is done from other people risking their capital, and we have a lot of respect for that. So having said that, this is the presentation, Optimus Futures. It's a platform technology and other services Matt Z's company offers, and I appreciate your time today. I know there were a lot of webinars recently, and so
yeah, Matt, can you go full screen before we get started?
Oh,
make it a little bit easier.
Full screen?
No.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize that. I show my screen. Just one second. Is it now better?
No. I mean within PowerPoint. If you tell it to do the presentation instead of the individual slides.
Do you know how to do that?
I think it's under View. I'm using a different version than you are. I can't remember the old one. And then from beginning.
This is better?
On the left side, click from beginning.
Okay, I just did it. I think you should see it.
There it goes. Yep. All right. Thanks, Matt.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. Okay, so before we start, a disclaimer. And I know that everybody shows you disclaimers and tells you futures trading is risky and so forth, but let me just tell you this. Futures trading, it's very hard. It's a leveraged product. It requires a different psychology. You only put in your risk capital. Regardless of what you've been taught, regardless of how confident you are, you only use your risk capital. Any loss of funds cannot affect your lifestyle, devastate you, or anything of that sort. So please use your capital in a wise way, okay? The second thing that you have to understand, and this is the second point, is that technologies are never perfect. Technologies, you cannot leave your monitors alone. You cannot say, oh, because it does this function, I can go away. When you trade, you're beside the screen. Internet can fall, servers can fall, even the exchange at times malfunctions. So you have to be very, very vigilant and be there beside your screen all the time, and understand also that us brokers, we do not control the connectivity of many of the providers that we have. All right. Second thing, Okay, so sorry. This is the next slide. What is the goal of Optimist Trading Group brokerage? Our aim towards customers is not to be in the Me Too game. What does it mean? It means when you surf the net and everybody says we have this platform or that platform or anything of that sort, everybody is just kind of in the Me Too game. What we're really trying to do is really understand every single platform, its features. We actually, I admit, we have customers who know their platforms better than we do. But we really try our best in order to support customers and not to send them to the FCM desk or tell them, you know, email this guy or email that guy. We're really trying to bring those platforms that we support, understand, and we can actually launch them and implement them. And we also understand all the features that they have in terms of how they work with the different data providers. We always seek new technologies. We're always talking to our providers to improve things. We're also trying to find new platforms all the time. And the idea, again, is not to have a supermarket of platforms, but there are platforms that we find that they have a different model they work in terms of pricing. For example, right now we're talking to a platform there out of Europe where they have a pricing model where basically everything is free, but support costs a little bit. So they provide it for free, but if you want an ongoing support monthly, they charge for it. So everybody has their own way of doing things, and this specific platform that I'm talking about is very good for algorithmic trading. But again, we're learning it, and when we're ready, we'll launch it. We're also trying to provide practical advice to customers, meaning that sometimes customers come to us with ideas that are simply you cannot implement in the marketplace. Sometimes it's limitations of speed, sometimes it's limitations of capital, or some things that are very good in theory, but in real life they do not work. I think Mike addresses a lot of that on the site. I see a lot of very practical advice coming from Mike, from people say, I will do this and I will do that. And Mike actually says, well, you can't really do that. And I think Mike is a very technical guy, so he really understands. And a lot of customers who are new to the market, they're being taught certain things and want to implement it. So what we're trying to do is really to be honest with people and not say, yes, yes, just do it, here's the platform, but say, okay, we don't think you should do that, or here's another way to do it. We're also trying to add functionalities to existing platforms. So sometimes there is a user base out there to an existing platform, and what we try and do is basically go to this platform and say, okay, here's some of the things that you should add, and here are the things that will help our customers and so forth. So we find that if you have a good relationship with the platform providers, they will do a lot for you. So they also understand that we're not there to fill any sales quotas for them. We're under no pressure towards one company or another, and we will never fall into that category of or those conditions of you have to sell for us and then we'll talk to you. Not at all. Our approach is, look, this is what I think our customers need. This is their demands, and as a result of that, you know, we would like to have that. Somebody on the site today asked me about the server-side OCOs, and one thing I wanted to mention, that OCO orders are non-recognized exchanged orders. So what does it mean? It means that orders that there's a degree of safety and security, but nothing is 100% safe and secure, meaning that if the exchange does not recognize the order, every server that it sits on can malfunction. That's why you always have to be by your screen. Having said that, our Trader Pro provides server-side OCOs, so those orders are sitting on their servers. Sierra Charts, as you know, we implemented something called the Optimus screen, which provides a navigation bar at the top that we redesigned for Sierra, and they provide OCO orders. Now, the one thing that I wanted to actually mention, and it's a little bit misleading what I wrote here, trailing stops are, I should actually, sorry, how do I go back? Sorry, I have to go back to this, okay, and then I'll do, Okay, from current slide. Okay. Okay. Okay, so going back to this, I want to talk about trailing stops right over here. Sierra Charts does not provide OCO trailing stops. I spoke to Anthony. He said there's a lot of issues with that, and I totally trust him because he's a really, really good programmer. So I wrote here that it's plus trailing stops, but what I really wanted to write is that I wanted to discuss that on that slide. So Sierra Charts does not have trailing OC orders, but it does have regular OC orders with a limit and a stop. Okay, from our discussions from CQG, they have server-side OCOs. They do say that they have trailing stops that are working. I mean, I haven't tested it, so I think best is also to ask them. And CQG server-side, it works with us on multi-charts and the CQG platform network, which is CQG Direct, QTrader, and so forth. Another platform out there that also makes server-side OCOs are CTS. So that's basically it as far as the OCOs and addressing the customer that asked me today about it. Okay, going to the next. This is something a little bit off, but I really wanted to share this with you. Okay, so a lot of people want to be successful in trading, and one thing that's stuck in my head that I've read 15 years ago from Jack Schwager, and I don't remember if it was Market Wizards 1 or Market Wizard 2, but he said that people who were successful in trading, a lot of those people were successful at something else. Meaning that they didn't just walk into trading and all of a sudden became successful at that. Maybe some pit traders, but many were successful in other ventures and avenues and so forth. So they had some sort of a discipline instilled in them to do something like trading in the marketplace, which is very difficult. And today it's even more difficult than it was in the past because of all the algorithmic trading and so forth. So a lot of randomness and noise that has been added to the market. And so I always study what do successful people have. And what they have is a very strong value system. So I'm not here to preach to you what is good and what is bad and what values you should have in life. But successful people have a value system that they believe in. And why is it important? It's important because there is something that actually guides them all the time in terms of some sort of a compass, how to behave, what to do, and they pretty much stick to it. Now, again, it's not a thing of right or wrong or one values is better than somebody else's values, but it's something that really helps them. And why, how, I should say, well, how does it relate to trading? In trading, you have to be disciplined. I've seen over the years many disciplined traders that because of 1 week or sometimes even one trade destroy their account. It happened before. I've seen it. The euphoria, you know, it goes to their head. Or sometimes, you know, it's lack of success. You know, they say, I want to make it all back. So having some sort of guidance and rules not to make certain mistakes is very, very important. And when you have a value system, you create the rules, you develop resilience. And let me tell you this. A lot of people, and especially, again, you know, I don't want to come across as somebody who preaches at people. I mean, my intentions are good. I really want to help people. But trading is not some sort of a motivational course. It's not the type of thing where you say, I really, really want it, and it's going to happen. You have to develop very strong resilience, and that helps you through very, very difficult periods in trading because it's so difficult. If you look at commodity trading advisors with track records of 15 years, 20 years, and you go through their monthly performance, you will see that there's a lot of drawdowns. There are periods of months upon months that there's lack of performance, lackluster ability to create anything in terms of return. And they also have to live through that. But in the long run, some of them are doing really well. So this is also something to keep in mind. This is not a 3-month or a 6-month venture. It's something that could take you a very long time. And the last thing is, you know, block overflow of information and advice. So when you have a value system and rules, so let's talk about rules in trading. I think, you know, Mike has been a very big advocate of people writing their ideas in the forum. And I think it's a wonderful idea. I mean, when you have a conviction and you believe in something in terms of your methodology, you'll be immune to all the noise that comes after. And if somebody makes you doubt it and he has something valid, but you nevertheless still believe in something very strongly, it gives you the idea maybe I have to be more flexible. Some people will give you unpractical advice, some people will give you practical advice, but if you have your rules, you will be able to block the information that is not necessary and take advice that is necessary. So I think that is very, very important. You know, write down 10 things you really believe in and that guide you in life and translate after that to trading. Develop discipline, not only in trading, but also outside in your personal life. I believe that both of them are very connected. Okay, so just to give you a little bit of an idea, just being a little bit more specific, Sierra, we have an Optimus screen. We have server-side OCO. It includes historical bid and ask. The package 5 is $27.50 instead of $40. Okay, so those people who are interested in that, will be more than happy to accommodate them. Okay, multi-charts. We've reached an agreement with multi-charts where Optimus will help a little bit towards those who like the multi-charts platform. I find just in general that you really, when I talk about platforms, you really have to explore what's good for you out there. I know that some of you have been using the same platform for a very long time. If you love it, it's fantastic and great, and if it works for you, I don't want to change your mind and go towards something else. But I've seen people who are stuck with the same thing and they say, well, I paid for it, or, you know, it's sometimes unstable, but I'm used to it. I'm going to tell you something. A lot of those companies out there that I'm talking to right now are not marketing companies. They really have good programmers who really put a lot of time and effort into features that traders need, and that real traders need, that come to them and say, look, I need this, I need that. And I find that Sierra charts and multi-charts have been very, very responsive, you know, to traders' needs, including rhythmic in terms of data feed and flexibility as well. Okay, so anyway, it's right in front of you. If you have 5,000, you'll get $50, 10,000, 100. 15,000 will contribute to 100, and 25,000 will provide a $500 coupon towards the lifetime of multi-charts. Okay, just to give you a little bit of news and added services. So we are trying and attempting to become an independent introducing broker. We have to be approved. We have a team that we work with, and that's what we're trying to do right now. And the reason that we have decided in the future to become independent is because we find that different FCMs have different needs for different people in terms of features and everything, and also in terms of service. You have FCMs that are better suited to service really big guys, and there are FCMs that are suited for a smaller guy. So it's only fair that we find the right match for the customer. Again, the legal word is attempting, because we were not approved yet. We submitted all the documents. Pretty sure it's going to go through, but we're not there yet. It's probably going to happen in the next 2 months. Okay. 2 services that we will add. What we're going to try to do is to find automated solution for traders, where traders can turn on and off systems, automation, and so forth. And the other service that we're trying to expand into is efforts to find CTAs with long-term trading records. And here's what I'm going to tell you. Most discount traders are inactive. Most discount traders do not trade. I mean, nobody talks about it in the industry, so they impose inactivity fees and that fee and that fee, but this is really the truth. And I don't blame anybody. Nobody owes any broker to trade, but a lot of people want to participate in the market, but they don't have the temperament, knowledge, or sometimes I find they don't have the time. So the idea of adding services, we want them to participate in the market. We're not going to force anybody into anything. We're going to show everybody the options. But we think sometimes with the help of a professional, it might make it a little bit easier for them. Okay, a little study that we have made, which is really interesting. So, you know, we were looking to see who is the most active among certain platforms. meaning that, you know, if a platform, let's say, has 10 users, okay, who is trading the most on a given platform? So they don't just use it just perpetually, just paper trade it forever. And this is something that we've done a while back, I have to admit. It's not something that we've done recently, so numbers could have changed. I'm not a statistical company, so it was done just by a glance and overlook. You know, it was not specifically done. But nevertheless, we found that multi-charts was the one platform where people really trade on. And I can't provide any explanation, but the only thing I could only assume that it has really good capability of back testing. And a lot of people who have built automation, it really works for them on that. And the second one was Sierra and Trade Navigator. It's kind of odd because Trade Navigator is not really seen a lot out there, but it's a really good platform. Of course, Sierra, everybody knows it on BMT, but Trade Navigator has been around for a very, very long time. I think they're one of the oldest guys out there. And basically, we worked with them over the years. And those of you who have not decided yet on the platform can definitely explore it. Okay? So, okay. So today, what I wanted to do is also show you a new platform that we are looking to bring into the markets. It's called Agena. And I found this platform. Actually, I didn't find it. I should tell you the story behind it. So I received an email one day of a customer telling me that you got to try this Agena. I love it. I love it. It's fantastic. And I never heard of them before. And it's really rare that I don't hear about a platform, right? Okay, so especially if it's in retail. So I thought it really came from them, and I ignored it because I thought this is kind of somebody sends you an email just to promote something, and I don't like that, you know. So I ignored it. But the email just kept on asking me other questions and so forth, so I started corresponding with it, realizing that it's a real guy. And what I understood, and the reason I never heard about Agena is very simple, because it was really famous in, it's a German platform, and it was famous in Austria and Germany. So they've built this entire site, and there's a very big German partner that uses them. And so I have a customer who also has an account with them, and this is actually that's the guy that introduced me to it, and he said that, you know, he really likes Agena and it's a really good platform. So I got in touch with Agena. We started talking. I really liked their interface. So I said, you know what, this will be a great avenue for me to show another platform for those, you know, who might consider it. It's a C# platform. And why, and I always ask myself, why do traders need another platform out there? But the truth is, I'm trying to always save money for people. So this platform, what we have done is really unique. They have a lot of packages, but we took all kinds of packages from them, combined it into one package, priced it at $35. I think their main package was like 50 or 60 euros or something like that. So we took the features from there, they built this thing for us, and it's really, and I think it's a good platform. It's a lower cost. Sometimes traders need to improve their existing features. I placed the be unique. Sometimes, you know, as a broker, you want to represent something that other people don't have or didn't reach yet, right? So it gives you some sort of a competitive edge. I'm sure after this webinar, everybody will be calling it Agena. Every broker will be calling them. So there goes my edge. But anyway, sometimes I'm a big proponent of visual display. I mean, I really like when companies work on the way things look that make it easy for customers to come in and start playing around. It's very intuitive. I mean, every microwave in every store, you know exactly what to do. A platform should basically work the same way. And sometimes, you know, sometimes you need change. There's some people that are not prone to change, but I'm a big change guy. I change my computers every few years. I change my screens. Just sometimes we need change. So I wanted to introduce you at this point to John. John started working for Optimus, I think about a year ago or slightly over a year ago. It's been a breath of fresh air for us. And let me explain. This kid absolutely has the ability to learn every single platform out there. He made the videos for us on YouTube. He's our main technical guy. And you know, he really encouraged me as a boss and an owner of a company to realize, that a brokerage does not need 10 brokers to be successful. If we have the right infrastructure, and it will bring customers. The right support will bring customers. Of course, I would like to have, competent brokers and salespeople and so forth, but it is really more important for me to service existing clientele and maintain them, because, as they say in marketing, it takes you, 10 times more capital to bring a new customer than maintain an existing one. So this is not a formula that I want to change. In any case, after John presents Agena, both me and John will take questions and go from there. So Mike, go ahead. You can give the presentation to John. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Matt. Okay, John. I am giving you control. Your audio should be on. Are you there?
Sure. Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, it sounds okay.
All right, perfect. Let me go ahead and...
All right, and Matt, I'm going to just mute your microphone for now so we don't get any background. Okay. All right, we've got there we go. We've got the platform.
All right, perfect. Yeah, I have a few screens here, so I want to make sure we get the right one there. Yeah, as Matt said, and thank you for the introduction, Matt, and thank you for handing it over and for having us, Mike. Always a pleasure. I've been a fan of the forum for a long, long time, actually. But on to the presentation here, on to the meat of the Agena here. What I have in front of us is Agena Traders, so the platform that Matt was mentioning that's a little bit new to us and maybe new to you, or you may have seen it before. Agena is definitely something that I've been playing around with a lot lately. Of course, learning the platform for customers and so forth, but also just to kind of see how it's set up. There's really a lot you can do with it. So, of course, here we have Agena, just kind of a regular tab here, or a chart group, as they would call it. What's interesting about Agena is there's so many different ways that you can configure and kind of put together your charts or your different windows, such as domes and so forth. So right in here in front of us, of course, we just have some ES charts. These are all just 1 minute charts here, but of course, they have all the regular time frame and options and so forth. But what I really want to show you is how these different chart groups kind of work together. So you can see I have a few tabs here at the top here. So we have these different chart groups. We also have separate workspaces. So this is just one workspace out of many that you can have, of course. The other thing too is these charts are not confined within Agena Trader, so you can release these charts and have them separately. So it's not required to kind of have these. So if you have multiple monitors, you can see that it can definitely be a good way to kind of position those together. So a lot of platforms where they're kind of all one together, you may not have the option to really show those or have those kind of modularly, I guess you would say here. So that's one thing about Agena Trader that I do like, is the ability to not only have a good organization within the platform itself or the instance itself, but also the flexibility to organize your charts or your different windows on other monitors. I know a lot of traders do, of course, have multiple monitors. The old joke you always hear is, oh, the more monitors the better you'll do. But of course, we know that it's really about the analysis that you do, not necessarily the physical equipment here. But as far as the platform goes, we have that option to really organize these charts in different ways. So let's take a look at kind of just the basic navigation of Agena here. Of course, we have these different chart groups together. So we have this here, just a set of 3 charts. Then we have basically a DOM interface. And the DOM interface here is also going to show your time and sales. So we see our time and sales here on the right. We can see, the different contracts that are coming through, the different timestamps. We can see the prices, of course, as well. We can change symbols and so forth here at the top. We see our open, high, low, close, and other values here that are available to us here. The other thing we can do is of course, place orders. And the nice thing about Agena here is you're not going to have to kind of scramble for different keyboard combinations or anything like that. You can see that I can place limit orders, stop orders, and I'm using all left mouse clicks. So all of these mouse clicks here are left mouse clicks. It knows whether it needs to place a limit order if you're below the market on the buy side, or a stop order if you're below the market on the sell side. That's all ingrained here, and it kind of knows for you. So that kind of just saves some time, when you're placing orders on the DOM. And of course, we can cancel those orders pretty quickly. We can freeze the DOM here for different price points. So that's all available here. Now, the other thing I wanted to show, aside from the DOM here, is another configuration. So we saw the ES here. We have just a few charts open. What you'll notice is we have a nice a toolbar here, and of course, we have different indicators that are available, just as we would on most platforms here. But what's interesting about this here is it is a C# based platform. So, if you're into creating your own studies or getting into programming that way, it actually may be very familiar in the way that these are created. So this is another kind of development environment for you, not only for analysis and trade execution, certainly on Agena, but also to be able to use these different studies and so forth. So I just had a Bollinger on there. I don't have enough bars for that Bollinger Band here currently, but let me go ahead and bring in a different indicator. We'll see if this one will work a little bit better. Let me say 5 bars here. And that will, of course, bring that up for us. Now, of course, you can add different indicators and so forth. It's not limited to, just the ADX or the Bollinger Bands. There's a lot that are, predefined within here and that are available. So you can see those are tons of studies available for you to get started with. You can also create your own, of course, with that C#. You can also create strategies within Agena. So all of that is available, if you want to get away from discretionary trading, or you want to diversify into automated trading with Agena Trader. That's totally possible. Now, something really exciting I want to show you, and this kind of was the biggest thing that surprised me about Agena. And we're just showing some stock symbols kind of as an example here of the functionality. But the efficiency of Agena is actually very impressive to me. What you'll see here is any of these charts here on the left side, or these symbols listed here within this scanner, you can see how quickly these different charts load up. It's all of course, multi-threaded, and really takes advantage of your resources here. So to be able to kind of jump between these so quickly, you can see it's almost instantaneous how we get through these. And even though we're viewing some stock symbols here currently, this is all possible with futures and so forth as well. So that's something that really struck me, is just the efficiency of how everything is set up here. Not only can we switch between these and kind of see these symbols here all on our left-hand side, but we can switch between them pretty quickly. Not have to wait for that data to load up. It's all waiting there and ready for us, certainly. So that's kind of a big advantage here that we can take a look at on Agena, is the way that it kind of switches between these and is ready, at the drop of a hat here. So if you're looking at multiple instruments, you're looking at different setups, you can quickly switch between those, on a short-term basis, and maybe not, be confined to those longer-term setups when you're looking at different instruments, just due to the efficiency here. Now, another thing that kind of goes along with this, switching between these and seeing these different instruments, is also being able to scan different instruments. So this is a really cool feature within Agena that is really powerful, actually. You can see that I'm looking at the end of day screener, Now, one of the things we can do here is basically look at different filters or different criteria, so different let's see here, different parameters basically of how we want to filter out different trade setups. So one thing we could do here, for example, is to take a look at the average true range. What we could do here is say, okay, if the average true range is above 4.5, we want to know about that. So it'll then sort those all for us. So all of these that we're seeing here currently have the ATR above 4.5. So the ability to filter these out really quickly is certainly a pretty cool feature here. And we can combine these so we can look at different patterns. Of course, we may not have that combination. We can say here, over bots, and we even have different levels here that we can choose. So, we're not limited just to one or two different filters here. We can always combine those and look for specific setups without necessarily having to program anything. Programming is certainly available within AginaTrader. We can script within that C# language. For those of you who are C# developers or may have used C# in other platforms, you can certainly do that, but it's not necessarily required within Agina with all these different filtering options and so forth. So it really makes it easy to be able to look at multiple instruments at the same time. If you're focusing on different asset classes or different market sectors, you can really kind of split your time a little bit more evenly and look at opportunities as they come based on these different filters. Now, going back to these kind of chart groups or chart containers, as we would say here, you can see that there's different kind of pre-configured ones that are here. So, if we just want a single chart, of course, we can open that up. We have different options here as far as the type of or the period of the charts that we want to view, whether it's range, ticks, minutes, and so forth. We also have different price styles, so of course, whether you want to view a more exotic bar type such as a Kagi bar type here, or point and figure, or so forth, or just regular candlesticks, that's all built in here as well. So just kind of to go through that, that kind of just shows you a little bit about what's included there. The other thing about Agina that I like is, again, just the modular design. Things like the toolbars, we can actually really customize these just with a click of a button. I can remove different options here. I can add options that maybe weren't on there previously. So, you can really set up your trading environment in a way that makes sense for you. All of these platforms certainly filled with so many different features and great things that we can use. However, it may just not be relevant to us in certain setups. So, we can switch between these or toggle these and kind of customize these to the way that we want them. And you can see it will adjust these as we come in. Or as we kind of go over the charts, so we know which chart is active at that point. And so any of the options here on the toolbar, we can also, of course, access from the right mouse click menu here, go into the settings, access things like drawing tools, for example. We can draw trend channels and so forth. And you can see we can even link these charts together so that they have these different drawings and so forth that will kind of carry over. The other thing that makes it pretty quick here is you can see we can save these images, print those images, export to Excel, all of that right here on our toolbar, so pretty quickly. If you want to do some analysis here, maybe print the image or maybe save the image and post it up on Big Mike and see what happens, see what other people are thinking. You can absolutely do that pretty quickly here within Agina. The other thing on Agina that we have that is a very popular feature these days, of course, is trading directly from your chart. Not everybody is a short-term trader. They may not use the DOM to enter in orders. You want to trade from the chart, you can absolutely do that on Agina as well. So we have, of course, different options here, just regular stop orders we can place here. We can place limit orders, market orders, and so forth. And what's interesting here is we can actually place these orders, adjust them, things like the quantity, and then accept them. So we can have a pretty flexible way of entering in these orders. And of course, we can move these orders and kind of adjust them as we like to see fit. We can also attach these orders. So for example, maybe I wanted to create an OCO group. I can do that here right on our chart. Maybe I wanted to kind of bracket the market here. What I could do is, for example, place a buy stop above, place a sell stop here, and then I can link these together, and you can see that that will be an OCO group here. And that's another thing on Agena here that is impressive to me as well, is the way that these orders kind of work together. We can see these links. We know that these are linked by OCO without having to kind of think about it. You know, if we have a lot of different orders or different tiers of orders, we can kind of get confused. You know, I know sometimes, you know, when I'm placing trades and so forth, you know, there are orders that I may not remember if I tie them together, you know, as far as OCO and so forth, if you know, I place them pretty quickly. So it gives us just another visual reminder to be able to kind of see that there. And of course, you know, we can tie those together just that way. The other thing we have here that I wanted to show you is that I think is a pretty cool option for those of you that are using multiple brokers or for example, multiple data feeds. What's really cool about the Agena here is you can actually, of course, connect to different features. You can see I'm connected to just a Yahoo feed here for that stock data, and I'm also on CQG. Now, one thing that's pretty interesting here is we can actually adjust which type of asset classes are routed through which feed. So right now I have my futures quotes coming from CQG, but I have you know, stock quotes and so forth coming through the other feed here. So, you know, if you have something like IQ feed, for example, which has a ton of those different asset classes, but you don't necessarily want, say, Forex through that feed, you could disable Forex for IQ feed and you know, have that through your other data feed or route that through there. So not only is there ways to, you know, of course, bring in all that different kinds of data, but also to route that data how you want it to be routed. So, you know, route that data through specific channels or the channels that you want to get it with. So just another kind of smaller detail or attention to detail that I like about Agena here. You also have, you know, pretty quick things here like the futures calendar. You know, a lot of these different futures contracts, it can kind of be a headache to remember exactly when they are rolling over. That's built in right here, and you can actually have alerts for all of these different rollover symbols, you know, individually. You know, we have the DAX here, we have, you know, the gold here and so forth. So, you know, having that built in just saves a little bit of time, you know, going through the CME website, for example, or so forth if you don't happen to remember, you know, these different rollover dates. So, you know, it's little things like that that can really help you and just save you time as a trader, you know, as you're getting into it, especially if you're looking at those multiple asset classes and trading, you know, more on a portfolio basis than on an individual basis. So that's kind of how, again, just the attention to detail that you can take a look at here as far as just aiding you as a trader, you know, those small things that can save a little bit of time. Also for you, for those of you who are, you know, from across the pond here, you know, we're located in the U.S., but Agena also has multiple languages, you know, built in. So we have English that I'm using, of course. I don't speak German here or Russian, but if you did, or if I did, you had these options to switch quickly. I'm going to stay out of those. I don't want to get lost here if I accidentally switch there, but certainly options that are available within Agena here. The other thing that we have here, again, is the scripting. So I kind of wanted to show you just a little bit of how the scripting here works in Agena. And you can see that it is C# based, so we can create a new indicator. We can even convert you know, indicators from other platforms or kind of have them within here. So you can see it looks pretty similar here. If I wanted to just type in Big Mike indicator, for example, and then we can have these options, calculate on bar close, overlay on price, and so forth. We'll go next here. We can enter in inputs, for example, look back period here, or so forth. I won't spend a whole lot of time here. We'll go ahead and just click the finish here. But you can see we have a development environment that is built in here. And we can, of course, start coding in those different conditions here. So, it may look familiar for those of you who are C# programmers. Definitely available here within Agena, and is available to, just use and, again, grow as a trader. And that's one thing, we stress about these platforms is, as a trader, when you begin, you may just be looking at charts and studies and so forth. But as you grow, you may want to get into scripting your own studies and strategies, or looking into automation or different asset classes like you see here, or different setups on multiple instruments and so forth. So the flexibility as far as that goes can really go a long way. The last thing I kind of want to show here is just the trading journal. That's a pretty cool feature here to take a look at, where how your trading's been going within Agena. Of course, you can kind of load through these and leave comments and so forth. You can also take a look at snapshots of these, so screenshots of these different trades here that are available within the trade journal as well. So just another way to kind of keep track of how you've been doing as far as the Agena goes here within simulation trading and so forth. So I don't want to take up too much of your time here. One last thing I did want to show, not related to Agena here, really quick, that Matt mentioned, is on Sierra chart. I just wanted to show off our new toolbar here that we have for our version of Sierra chart here that is included. I can see some new icons. So we are looking to work a little bit more closely with different platforms like Agena and Sierra Chart, and add value where we can and do what we can. Maybe small changes and so forth, but it'll snowball in the end, and hopefully it make a difference for our customers and our clients to just make it a little bit easier on them, or more cost effective certainly as well, is something we're trying to offer as well. So just wanted to show that off in addition to Agena here. I'll go ahead and pass it back off to Mike here, and let him take over here at the helm.
Okay, thanks, John. So Matt, I'm going to turn your microphone back on. All right, which you guys want to share the screen? You want to keep it with John? And then let me go ahead and see if there's any questions. Okay. All right, guys, so if anybody has questions, now is the time to ask. Let's take a look. Art wants to know if you can use that stock scanner and filter by VWAP.
I believe that is available here. If we take a look, we have different volume options here. I don't know specifically about VWAP. I'd have to look into that, but I know there are.
It might be under the indicators.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's take a look there. Let's see here.
Oh, I see. It's just specific ones. Okay.
Yeah, there's just a few here. Yeah, it may not be on here, or VWAP may not be here specifically, but that's certainly something I can suggest to Agena. And that's the great thing, with working with these different platforms is, we get to know, I know Gilbert on a first name basis from Agena, and if we have those suggestions, we'll be happy to do it, and they'll be happy to do it as well.
Okay. I can't be the only one thinking that it looks very similar to NinjaTrader. So that's interesting. I mean, I've never heard of this platform before. I don't know how long they have existed, but they seem to have coded up a new NinjaTrader. Let's see. TS Trader is saying, is there any market profile, volume profile, or Renko charting?
There should be There are Reiko charts included. I don't have a whole lot of data here to work with at this point. As far as volume profile and so forth, I believe that's something that is in the works. I don't know that it's included here by default. Let me take a look. We do have a volume profile, although the data that I have here may not bring that up here. I think I'd need a little bit more data to go back. But it looks like there are some volume profile functions. Of course, we're still working on certain things here, but yeah, unfortunately, I don't have it here to show.
Okay, so let's talk about historical data. Is there not any historical data?
There is not historical data included at this point. What Matt has done, though, is, and I don't know if you mentioned it today, we've actually negotiated with IQ Feed for a reduced rate for historical data or in IQ Feed data. So that's something to look into as well, but not included by default here within the platform.
Okay, but it does support IQ Feed. So if you were to have a subscription, okay.
Correct, yes.
Okay. Just in general, I wanted to ask some high-level questions about platforms. So we know that that Optimus offers Sierra Chart and Agena and multi-charts. I think Trade Navigator. What am I missing? What are the other ones?
We offer CTS. We offer Inside Edge, which is very good for market profile. Trade Navigator, our Trader Pro, TT in some circumstances for some users, anything that Rhythmic supports. Rhythmic supports
Market Delta Trader as well.
Right, Market Delta, correct.
Okay.
All the CQG platforms, pretty much almost everything that's available on the retail side, we have access to.
Okay, and let me just ask, if people already have a license to NinjaTrader, can they bring their license to Optimus?
Well, my understanding is that we can take anybody who doesn't have lifetime license. Only the ones who have acquired the lifetime license before July 15th of this year. My understanding is that we can, but again, we don't control the platform. They have become their own broker, so they have been flexible in some circumstances, but again, it's not a platform we're right now promoting, because clearly they have become their own thing, right? So
yeah, let's talk about
nothing but the best to them, by the way.
Let's talk about data feeds. So you mentioned like CTS. So on CTS, does that mean that you guys are bringing in the CTS T4 feed itself?
We haven't used it on other platforms. We actually just started bringing there some customers, so we're starting to get to know the team. I think there's a guy by the name of Brian there that we started talking to. Very nice guy, very good fella, and I'm sure that with him we can bring it to other platforms. The one thing, it's actually very good that you asked that question, because it brings me to something else. As of March 15th of next year, brokers will be considered professionals. We're pros, and we will be charged certain data feeds according to that. So we really have to be controlling our cost. What does it mean? Let's assume that you use two different FCMs, but both of them you're controlling risk through Rhythmic. Nevertheless, on two different FCMs, it's considered two different screens because everybody else provides the data. So what we're really trying to do is really centralize everything. We can't have, of course we'd love to be a supermarket, but really we have to weigh the cost of supply and demand. For example, if there's a lot of people who want the data feed from CTS, of course we'll implement it. But then the other side is we also need to have risk management. So when people call in, they say, I'm stuck, my platform fell down, and so forth, we really have to have something on our side in order to control it. So what we're trying to do is really see what is the demand, and if the demand justifies it, we implement it. Again,
Okay.
like I said in the beginning of this presentation, I don't want to be in the game of me too. I have to admit that so far what we have implemented the most is Rhythmic, and it worked for us, but we're expanding.
Let's talk about exchanges. Who do you have? CME?
Right now, we have CME, and we have CBOT, ICE, all the North American ones. We do have Eurex. We don't have Eurex through Rhythmic yet, but we have it through CQG. There's another added company. I think I think Vision goes through Jeffries. So through CQG we can offer other avenues. In fact, because Jeffries is so big, we actually found this week a customer who wanted to switch from another firm to trade the Australian exchange. We brought him over, and this is something that we were able to facilitate with the help of CQG. And they have a very good team, by the way, as well.
Okay. Let's talk about account opening procedures, minimums, margins, how to get the funds in and out, customer portal, customer-facing portal, that kind of stuff. What can you tell us?
Okay, so basically we have everything prepared, templates for every single type of account that people want to open. After they fill out the application, we check the financial suitability of the customer to trade futures, and according to that, we decide what is the maximum we can invest, and so forth. There are corporate accounts, there are companies accounts, and everything else. So when people open that, again, we advise them that they will be considered pros, in the future, I think under a corporate account. So that we have to bring to their attention. But pretty much it's very straightforward as far as account opening. It's very fast. We get all the documentation. If something is missing, we send back all the details that are missing, and we go from there. Every time they want to withdraw money, they basically send us an email, accounts at Optimist Futures, give us the wire instructions, a check, and we release the funds. If they want to wire money in, there's a number of currencies that they can do it in, from Australian dollars, euros, American dollars. We just give them the wire instructions, and they go from there.
Okay. Glenn is asking, can someone write a custom indicator in C++ or C# for Agena?
I think it's more suitable for John, but I think they can.
John?
Is John?
Yeah, it would just need to be in C#, so it's certainly possible for, third parties to, create an indicator and so forth. So definitely an option.
Okay. Trader Wolf is asking if you have any platforms that work with the Jigsaw Dome. So I think that's yeah. I mean, I think it's I think it's only for NinjaTrader, but I think I read maybe he's doing a Sierra version. I don't know if that means it's like a standalone Windows app. I'm not sure.
We have some customers who use it. I didn't have much interaction with them with that, but again, I think it does work mostly with Ninja.
Okay.
For now, I think he developed it also for OpenECRI.
I was gonna say OpenECRI. Okay, got it.
Right.
Let's see. So TS Trader is asking again, I think we already covered this, is our market profile charts. Or he's saying market delta charts, but I think he either means market profile or maybe he means footprint or volume ladder. I'm not sure exactly what he means, but we already showed the list of indicators. It looks like they're just really basic versions out of the box, very similar to what Ninja has, for example, which is out of the box, not something that you would really use if you're a serious profile trader. But you said that you support the actual platform, Market Delta, right?
We support Market Delta, and we support. Actually, we know Trevor really well. He's a really good guy. Mm-hmm. We work with him quite closely. Sometimes we even do presentations for them where they show the functionalities of the platform.
So if you're a serious profile trader or footprint trader, then that's what you want.
Right.
Or Sierra chart.
I think,
yeah.
right, market profile. I think, you know, they have two different costs. I think what's unique, from my understanding, to Market Delta is their registered trademark on footprints that they teach all the time. And I think that's what's unique about the charts. If somebody is looking for a different, just general market profile solution, I think you can beat the price of Sierra chart on that.
Right. Yeah, they've got basically a generic, you know, their own interpretation type of thing. Okay, let's see. If anybody else has questions, now is the time to ask. So, Matt or John, anything else that you want to show or talk about today?
No, just wanted to really thank you for your time, and thanks for everybody for showing up. I want to encourage you, you know, because I always feel that our relationship, you know, between Mike, always, you know, built on reciprocity. I really want to encourage everybody to really participate in the forum, because this is how you grow as a trader. You ask questions. The life of every forum depends on very good content coming in. And if you have good content and you share it with a lot of people that will read it, and you will save them a lot of headaches. So you're actually doing a very good thing. Sometimes it's just good to give, you know. So I see some people, I have to, you know, sometimes some things, you know, names that are stuck in my head, like Tiger Trader, you know, he's just analysis is fantastic.
Yep.
It's really good, right? I mean, so I really encourage people, you know, to write and participate and ask questions. It gives me also a chance. I'm not always on the forum, but it gives me a chance. I don't think, when I got into the discount game, and I'll be very honest, I got into it about 4 or 5 years ago. Actually, Mike is giving me really practical advice. I remember back in the day, I said, no, Mike, you don't get it. But no, he got it. I was the one who didn't get it. He told me a lot of practical advice, and so I really like the interaction that occurs all the time. And it gives me the interaction of people right on the site, and they write the journals and what they're looking at and everything else. It also gives me a chance as an owner to see what are people's concerns, what they want and their needs. The idea, for example, to work with Sierra and do the server-side OCO for Rhythmic was really because of the forum. It was really because I saw people seeing it as a really big thing. And Anthony is just one of those guys that I really like, because he's just easy to work with. Like, you know, they have a small development team, but everybody complains about their customer service, you know, but the reality is that developers, you know, brokers should support the platform as well. Again, not to be in the game of me too, I have it, but really understand and support it. So they've done it for us, you know, really fast. They implemented the navigation that some of our customers said, hey, we want new navigation, so we did that. From BMT, I've learned that OCO server-side are really important for some traders, because the truth is I'm a well-traveled guy, and it's absolutely true. The infrastructure in the United States is so good, and the rest of the world, you know, you really have to pay a lot of extra, or it drops all the time. And I've been to Europe, I've been to the Middle East, I've been to, you know, the islands, and you just sometimes you never know. You just don't know where the infrastructure is good. I was, you know,
you don't
in
have
Europe
to tell
in some city. Yeah, well, you know, it's amazing. I was in some cities in Europe. I'm not going to mention which ones, but, you know, some of the bigger cities, the internet dropped all the time. And at the same time, I was in the jungle in Costa Rica, 3 hours away. It was just unbelievably fast. So you just, like, you never know. So anyway, the whole idea of participation in the forum, people interacting, talking to one another, gives us an idea of what traders want and need. So continue doing that. I think it grew to what it is today because of people's willingness to share with others, which is a fantastic thing.
Sure. Thank you. All right, guys. Do you have a slide, or do you want to throw up your website that has like an email address or some sort of contact information? So if people have questions, that's the way to get in touch with you.
John, maybe you want to give them our main site and also the Agena link, just in case if they want a demo. Okay, so this is our main site, and you can go to contact us, and we try to be very responsive. And you want to maybe give them the Agena link so they can try the demo.
All right,
of course, you can try out.
Sorry, I see an email there, general@optimusfeatures.com. Is that the best one? Okay.
Or they can, I mean, if you guys want to talk to me directly, Matt@optimusfeatures.com. You know, it's been
Okay.
it's and John, maybe you want to show them the Agena one as well, so they can maybe ask for a demo. You can use this tab as well. So Optimus Futures /AgenaTrader.html. Try it out, you know, see how it goes. Might be something that you like, and that's basically it. Again, they have a really, from what our understanding is, they have a really big user base in Germany and in Austria, and the site is in German, but at the bottom there's a tab we can actually switch it to English. So they've been very good to us. You know, we'll see. But again, you know, choose any platform you want. We're not pushing one.
And just to clarify, if somebody wants to try it, they can get a trial by going to this page right here. There's a
correct
on the right side. Okay.
Correct. They just try that, and we hooked it up. This platform at the moment is going through CQG. We hooked it up with the CQG API.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you, John. Thank you, Matt. I'll post the recording of this sometime on BMT a little bit later today or tomorrow, and I'll see you guys back on the forum soon.
Mike, thank you for your time. Much appreciated. Thank you, guys. Thank you for attending it.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Okay.